Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Monday Night Football matchup, Major League Baseball games from yesterday, look ahead to today's games, look ahead to tonight's WNBA playoff games. I'm going to do my NFL trade value rankings, latest news and notes. I'll recap last night's episode of Dancing with the Stars, and my best bet of the day. All right, we'll start with Monday Night Football. Not the best Monday Night Football game of the year in terms of score-wise, but it was a rivalry game. It was an important game, and the Dallas Cowboys came out on top by a score of 41-21. As they go to 2-1, the Eagles dropped to 1-2. Dak Prescott, 21 of 36, 238 yards and a touchdown, and a lost fumble. Jalen Hurts, 25 of 39, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. So Dallas, probably the team to beat in the NFC East, like I thought before the season. Kind of owning up to their what they could be in that game. And Philly's Week 1 result over Atlanta might look like an anomaly by the end of the season. But a good and important win for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, now we will move on to Major League Baseball, as we will go over the 5 games from yesterday. Look ahead to a very big day today. White Sox over the Tigers 8-7. Chicago 89-68. Detroit 75-81. Reds over the Pirates 13-1. The Reds 82-75. Pittsburgh 58-98. Indians over the Royals 8-3. Cleveland 77-79. KC 71-85. Those 3 were all makeup games from last Wednesday. Nats over the Rockies 5-4. Nats 65-92. Colorado 71-85. And the Mariners over the Athletics 13-4 to take the first game of what I'm going to call the elimination series. Seattle 87-70. Oakland 85-72. So now Seattle's 2 up on Oakland. We're looking ahead to today's games. 4 o'clock, you have the Marlins and the Mets doubleheader game 1. Trevor Rogers and Marcus Stroman. The Mets are minus 172. The Marlins are plus 144. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 142. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 172. I'm going to go with the over. I think that maybe a bullpen gives up a run late in the game. 6:30, Cubs Pirates. Alec Mills and Mitch Keller. Each team's minus 108, over under 8.5. Overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 146. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 176. Mitch Keller's been pitching better of late. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh, minus 108. Seven o'clock. You got the Red Sox and the Orioles. Chris Sale, Bruce Zimmerman. Sox minus 270, Orioles plus 220, over under 9.5. Over even money, under minus 122. Red Sox minus 1.5 is minus 172, or minus 162. Orioles plus 1.5 is plus 134. Very important series. The Red Sox offense has owned the Orioles this year, so I'm going over 9.5 and even money. And now this is pretty much a deciding. I think the winner of the series probably is safe for the wild card round. And that's Yankees Blue Jays. Jameson Taillon and Hyunjin Ryu. Huge series. Toronto's minus 134. Yanks are plus 114. Over under 9. Overs minus 122. Unders minus or even money. Yanks plus 1.5 is minus 172. Toronto minus 1.5 is plus 142. Obviously, Yanks coming off the sweep. Toronto getting Ryu back from injury. I think this is an under game. And Taillon's coming back from injury in this game, too. I kind of like the under. I don't know who wins. Marlins-Mets game 2. We don't know who's going for Miami, and Trevor Williams is going for New York. If the total's anything less than 7, I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, Phillies-Braves. Zach Wheeler and Charlie Morton. So this is for the NL East, essentially. Braves minus 132, Phils plus 112, over under 7.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Phils plus 1.5 is minus 194. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 160. I just think Atlanta's better. But give me over 7.5 minus 115. I think the Phillies bullpen might blow it. 7:30 Tigers Twins. Tyler Alexander Rito is going for mini. If the total's anything less than 8.5, give me the over. 7:45 Brewers Cardinals. St. Louis playing for that second wild card spot. Brendan Woodruff and Adam Wainwright. Brewers minus 120. Cards plus 102 over under 7 minus 110 each way. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 138. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 166. Give me the Cardinals plus 102 to win their staggering 17th straight game. 8 o'clock Angels Rangers. Pucky Naughton and AJ Alexei. Angels minus 112, Rangers minus 104, over under 9, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 138. Texas plus 1.5 is minus 166. I'm going over 9 minus 115. Reds White Sox. Reds still alive for the second wild card, but barely. Meaningless game for the White Sox. Riley O'Brien starting for the Reds. Reynaldo Lopez for the White Sox. White Sox minus 190, Reds plus 160, over under 9. Overs minus 118, unders minus 102. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 125. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 104. I'm going Reds plus 160, straight up. Indians Royals. Aaron Savali and Brady Singer. Royals minus 120, Indians plus 102, over under 8.5. Overs minus 122, unders even money. Indians plus 1.5 is minus 194. Royals minus 1.5 is plus 160. I'm going Indians plus 102. Rays Astros. And oh, by the way, the White Sox are playing for playoff seeding because they've not officially clinched the 2 seed yet, the Astros. So the 2 seed in the American League is still up for air. Rays have clinched the 1 seed pretty much. Michael Wacha, Jose Urquidy. Astros minus 138, Rays plus 118, over under 9. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Rays plus 1.5 is minus 162. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 134. I'm going to go under 9 minus 104. I think Urquidy pitches well. 8:30 Nats Rocks. Patrick Corbin, Kyle Freeland. Rocks minus 144, Nats plus 122, over under 12. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 150. Rocks minus 1.5 is plus 125. Under, that's way too high. I'm going with the under. 9:45 D-backs Giants. Luke Weaver, Logan Webb. Giants minus 295. D-backs plus 240, over under 7.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. D-backs plus 1.5 is plus 114. Giants minus 1.5 is minus 137. I'm going to go with the over. ESPN, Padres, Dodgers. Dodgers 2 back of the Giants for the NL West. Yu Darvish against Walker Buehler. Dodgers minus 190, Padres plus 160, over under 7.5. Overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Pods plus 1.5 is minus 130. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 108. I'm going with the over. The Padres just aren't trying. They got eliminated over the weekend. And the A's and the Mariners in the elimination series. Chris Bassett and Yusei Kikuchi. Oakland's minus 118. Seattle's even money, over under 7.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Oakland minus 1.5 is plus 134. Seattle plus 1.5 is minus 162. I'm going with the A's minus 118 in that one. Okay, now we'll move on to the WNBA playoffs semifinals, which begins tonight. 2 games, 8 o'clock, ESPN 2. You have the Sky and the Sun. For the series, I think that this is going to be good. Connecticut's just been marvelous all season. And they've been riding high. 14 straight going into the playoffs. They have a ton of talents. Brianna Jones, Alyssa Jones, Breonna January, Natasha Heedman. Meanwhile, Chicago had to win the play-in game. They got a big group, too. Khalil Cooper, Allie Quigley, Candace Parker, Courtney Vandersloot. I just think that the Sun are better. I think the Sky covered tonight. The Sun will win. In terms of a series pick, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a best of 5. And yes, it is a best of 5. I'm going to go with the Sun in 5 over Chicago. And on the other side tonight, 10 o'clock ESPN2, you have the Mercury and the Aces. Game 1, the Aces are 6.5-point favorites over the Mercury. The Mercury have been clutch throughout these playoffs so far. They have that veteran star power, Diana Taurasi, who's missed the first couple games, actually, but they've gotten contributions elsewhere. Like Brittany Griner and Skylar Diggins-Smith. And that win over the Storm was just darn good, impressive. And on the other side of the series, you have Vegas, who are just an awesome team themselves. Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Aja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Liz Cambridge. They're loaded. I think this also goes 5, and I'm going to say that Vegas wins in 5 games over the Mercury. And I'm going to say the Mercury might win Game 1 if Taurasi's back. I'm going to say the Mercury cover. Maybe they win Game 1, but I'm going to go Aces in 5 over the Mercury. All right. Now I'm going to do my NFL trade value rankings. And by the way, I say this every time I do trade value in each sport. This is not player rankings. This is players ranked on trade value. So there's going to be an obvious, this player's obviously better than this player. No, that's not the case. They have more trade value than that player. It's because of how much the player is making, too. And would you rather have this player on this deal or that player on that deal on a rookie contract, per se? All right, so without further ado, my 2021 NFL trade value rankings. I have a ton of honorable mentions. I'm debating on whether to just go over them at this point. I'll just say them. Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Devin Singletary, Devontae Parker, C.J. Mosley, Devin McCourty, Casey Hayward, Miles Jack, Will Fuller, Colton Davis, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Keenan Allen, Byron Jones, Chris House, Von Miller, Matt Judon, DeVaris Buckner, J.C. Treader, Lane Johnson, Justin Simmons, Jack Conklin, Joel Batanio, Brandon Scherf, Laramie Tunsil, Shaq Mason, Ronnie Stanley, Jonah Williams, Zach Moss, Damian Harris, Najee Harris, DJ Chark, Christian Wilkins, Jeffrey Simmons, Montez Sweat, Ed Oliver, Kenneth Murray, Patrick Queen, Tremaine Edmonds, Roquan Smith, Leighton Van Der Esch, Zach Cunningham, Marcus May, Darnell Savage, Brian Burns, Mike Gesicki, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Alvin Kamara, Darren Waller, Cole Kmet, Terry McLaurin, Laviska Shenault, Michael Pittman, Chase Claypool. All right, and now the actual list. The first 3 on this list, there's 3 wide receivers that have not been paid yet, but just have high upside. And those last couple receivers I listed off are a part of this group, but they did not crack the top 100. And those players are T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, and Marquise Brown that cracked the list. Number 97 on this list is a tight end who really has come into his own the last couple years, and that is Mark Andrews. Numbers 96 through 92 are cornerbacks on this list that either have been paid or not been paid yet. I've mixed them up. based on their age and ability and pay as well. 96, Jair Alexander. 95, Denzel Ward. 94, Marshawn Lattimore. 93, Trey White. Number 92 is Jeff Okuda. Numbers 91 through 90, two wide receivers that have really, I think, come into their own of late, and that is DJ Moore and Mike Williams. Numbers 89 and 88 are running backs who've recently been paid, but also been injury prone a little bit. Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey. But they've just are dominant on the field, and that's why they're in these rankings. And those other running backs that are not really, have not shown the pure dominance of those guys. 87 is a wide receiver that's not paid yet, but it's just awesome. That's Chris Godwin. Numbers 86 through 83 are difference makers on the field. Jamal Adams, Jalen Ramsey, George Kittle, Travis Kelce. 82 and 81 are arguably the two best quarterbacks of all time, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. 80's Chris Jones. 79's Trent Williams. 78 Bobby Wagner. 77 Zach Martin. 76 Chandler Jones. 75 Khalil Mack. So number 75 through 80 are just veterans that have been paid and are just contributing to their teams and having an impact every time they're out on the floor. The next couple players are pass rushers who have really not been paid yet. They're just promising young guys that I think will just improve as they go. Marcus Davenport, 74. 73 is Max Crosby. 72, Javon Kinlaw. 71, Derek Brown. 70, Josh Allen of Jacksonville. 69, Quentin Williams. 68, Vita Vea. And 67, Bradley Chubb. 66 and 65 are cornerbacks who are just awesome and are just having impacts on success, but they're both paid too. Xavier Howard and Marlon Humphrey. Numbers 64 through 59 are a mix of offensive linemen who some of them have been paid, some of them have not. But they're just so valuable to their clubs. 64, Isaiah Wynn. 63, Mike McGlinchey. 62, Taylor Moton. 61, Garrett Bowles. 60, Braden Smith. 59, Ryan Ramczyk. 58 is a young safety who I think is one of the more underrated players in all football, and that is Jesse Bates of the Bengals. Numbers 57 through 53 are a group of linebackers who are young but haven't been paid yet, who are nice building blocks for their teams. 57, Fred Varner. 56, Devin Bush. 55, Devin White. 54, Darius Leonard. 53, Isaiah Simmons. Numbers 52 through 46 are offensive linemen who are super duper young. Some of them have had their struggles, but are on the upswing. 52, Andrew Thomas. 51, Michael Owenu. 50, Elijah Vera Tucker. 49, Rashawn Slater. 48, Jedrick Wills Jr. 47, Mekhi Becton. 46, Penei Sewell. And actually 40, I'm going to bump all of them down because I forgot somebody important that belongs in this group, and that's Tristan Wirfs, who is 46 now on the list. And those, and all the last couple and plus that I mentioned on the list moved down a number. So T. Higgins is now an honorable mention. Sorry, T. Higgins. And I forgot about Tristan Wirfs, so I had to put him in there, but he's hurt. So he just wasn't listed on the roster sheet. So he's 46. So numbers 45 and 44 are a pair of safeties who are just instant impact guys for their respective teams. That's Derwin James at 45, and 44 is Minkah Fitzpatrick. Numbers 43 through 38 are a group of wide receivers who've all been paid and just produce day in and day out. 43 is Adam Thielen. 42 is Stephon Diggs. 41 Devontae Adams. 40 is DeAndre Hopkins. 39 is Cooper Kupp. 38 is Tyreek Hill. And 37 is Michael Thomas, who hasn't played yet this year, coming back from an injury. 36 is the best current defensive player in the league, and that's Aaron Donald. He's just awesome each day. He deserves to be this high. And I don't think he's going to age anytime soon. Number 35 through 28 are a group of young quarterbacks, unproven, but are on there solely because they're on rookie contracts, and rookie contract quarterbacks are still valuable. 35, Jalen Hurts. 34, Daniel Jones. 33, Tua Tagovailoa. 32, Trey Lance. 31, Zach Wilson. 30, Mac Jones. 29, Justin Fields. 28, Sam Darnold. Numbers 27 through really 17 are a group of young skill position players that haven't been paid yet but are just awesome and will be valuable going forward. 27, Henry Ruggs. 26, Calvin Ridley. 25, DK Metcalf. 24, A.J. Brown. 23, Jalen Waddle. 22, CeeDee Lamb. 21, Jerry Jeudy. 20, TJ Hawkinson. 19, Justin Jefferson. 18, Jamar Chase. 17, Devontae Smith. I think all these guys are flat-out difference makers and will be in the future more so than now. 16 is just a steady offensive lineman who is just a rock, and that's Quentin Nelson of the Indianapolis Colts. 14 and 15 are two of the last number one overall picks. Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, they're higher than the other quarterbacks because of their statuses and the pedigrees and what I project for the future. 13 is Russell Wilson. He just deserves to be higher than some of the veteran quarterbacks on this list because he's a little bit younger than Rodgers and Brady. And I think he still has a longer prime than them. Number 12 is TJ Watt. He's just a stud. He just got paid. And also in that same group pairing is number 11, Myles Garrett, 10, Joey Bosa, 9, Chase Young, 8, Nick Bosa. Young and Nick Bosa, have not been paid yet. That's why they're higher than the others, which are Watt, Garrett, and Joey Bosa, who've all been paid. And all those guys, those are easily the best 5 pass rushers in the league, not named Aaron Donald. But Aaron Donald's interior, and he's a little bit older than those guys. That's why Aaron Donald's a little bit lower on the list. The top 7 on this list are all quarterbacks. They're all franchise quarterbacks. 7's Dak Prescott. 6 is Justin Herbert. 5's Kyler Murray. 4 Baker Mayfield. 3 Lamar Jackson. 2 Josh Allen. And number 1, come on, it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you'd be stupid not to have Patrick Mahomes number on the trade value list, regardless of how much he's making. He's just so good. Same for Josh Allen. And then those other 5 quarterbacks on this list, the reason why Dak's lower than the others is that he's coming off the injury and he was paid. But the top 2 on the list have been paid, but they have more upside and I think more length as a great quarterback than Dak. And then the 3 or 4 guys on the rookie deals, they've just showed more upside than guys like Lawrence and Burrow. So, and obviously Herbert's been in the league longer than Lawrence, and Burrow got hurt last year, so that those 4 guys, Jackson, Mayfield, Murray, and Herbert, deserve to be in the top 6 of the 2021 NFL trade value list, which was a good list. It was a hard list to put together, but it was fine. And it's going to be even harder doing the other sports. Tomorrow we'll do baseball. Thursday we'll do NBA, and Friday we'll do the NHL. All right, now I'm going to do the latest news and notes for the day. A note for you guys. There's an epic Bucks-Patriots Sunday night promo, and it showed goosebumps, and then they showed a commercial ad for it during the Niners-Packers game, which features Adele's hit song, Hello. So I suggest you guys check it out. News coming down right now is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting Richard Sherman for a visit, so we'll see if they sign him. That will just bolster their secondary and continue the trend of the veterans that want rings to play with TB12. The Chiefs are signing Josh Gordon. That is an outstanding signing for KC. They need that number 2 receiver behind Tyreek Hill. McCole Hardman really hasn't shown that capability yet. So Gordon, I think, would be a great add to that team. Some NBA stuff. Karis LeVert had a stress factor in his back, but can return sometime around the start of the season. So just another injury for Karis LeVert. I feel so bad for that guy. Zion Williamson had off-season surgery for a fractured right foot and should return for the start of the regular season. They better hope Zion's back. Ben Simmons done playing with Joel Embiid, as Simmons' belief is that the partnership has run its course and is a major factor in trade requests. I want to have a good friend of mine, Chris, on the podcast, who's a 76ers fan, and he may or may not have a different opinion about this Ben Simmons situation, so I want to get him on to talk about it. Maybe I'll get him on tonight or some point later in the week. Michael Porter Jr. lands a $207 million extension, 5 years with the Nuggets. I think this is a risky deal. Porter's been injury-prone throughout his career, and this could look to be a Ben Simmons type of awful contract. Like, this might turn out to be a bad deal, but I think that, I think Porter got the money he could, and this is the most he would potentially get right now, because if he gets hurt, he's not making that much money. So we'll see about that. Blazers general manager Neil O'Shea says that the Blazers will never be a receptive of moving Damian Lillard despite trade rumors. Golden State Warriors general manager Bob Myers says that it will be a patient ramp-up for Klay Thompson to get back on the court, and he says maybe January. That's going to be a storyline these next couple months for sure. Joel Embiid says, we tried to meet Ben, and Embiid says, I still believe we have a chance to win with him. The Lakers apparently wanted Dame and Beal over Russ, as the Lakers focused first on Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard before eventually landing Russell Westbrook. Breaking news right now, Jonquel Jones named the WNBA MVP, earning 48 of 49 first-place votes, as this is a very deserving award. The best record, best team. Jonquel Jones deserved that. Tom Brady opens up about his New England return. He says he's not going to necessarily reminisce and is not expecting a homecoming. Dak Prescott teared up before the game during the national anthem, as that was his first home game in nearly 1 year and his first home game with fans in a long time. Jalen Hurts says, flush it and move on. You take you a deuce and you don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on. The Cowboys trolled the Eagles t-shirt. His Dallas Twitter account made a simple edit to the t-shirt after the blowout win. If you don't know the t-shirt story, Nick Sirianni, the Eagles head coach, wore a shirt that said, beat Dallas. You know what that is? Karma. He should know that by now. Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd says that the Steelers gave up, as he says that the Steelers betrayed the whole nation, how they gave up. That's some strong words from Tyler Boyd. That might get the Steelers' attention. Eli Manning has just been a joy to watch in the broadcasts with his brother Peyton on the ESPN2 and ESPN Plus broadcast. And Eli did a salsa dance as he mimicked Dak Prescott's pregame warm-up during the telecast, and Eli gave everyone the double bird on national TV, and the memes are just amazing. Baseball news. Brandon Belt fractures thumb as the recovery plan and timetable will be developed in the next couple days. A lot of injuries to key players on contending teams down the stretch. Aaron Judge with the pinky. Brandon Belt with the thumb. Ryu coming back for Toronto, which is a good thing. Kyrie Irving did not attend media day for the Brooklyn Nets yesterday because of his vaccination status and COVID protocols. As Kyrie says he isn't putting limitations on joining the team in the future, but won't discuss the vaccination status. This is similar to the Andrew Wiggins thing in a way, that they're both unvaxxed, and a lot of these traveling and some arenas are requiring it. Back to NFL. Scotty Miller will miss time with a toe injury. A.J. Brown strained hamstring week to week. Big loss for the Titans offense. James White out indefinitely due to a hip injury. Matt Rule says that CMC won't go on the injury reserve due to his hamstring injury, so that's good news for the Panthers. The NFL says that Green Bay followed protocols following the helmet hit on Devontae Adams. There was a benches clearing in Detroit yesterday as Jose Abreu slid into second base following a hit by pitch. This was something cool. Bradley Zimmer of the Indians homers off his brother Kyle Zimmer of the Royals yesterday. And last one, the New York Rangers announced that they'll be retiring Henrik Lundqvist's jersey on January 28th of next year. So that's a Friday night at Madison Square Garden. Now it's going to be a very special night. So you would think that game might end up being on national TV for that reason alone. But that is really, really cool. And it just appropriated them to announce it after the Giants retire Eli Manning's jersey on Sunday. All right, that's it for news and notes for today. Now we'll move on to Dancing with the Stars from last night. They had their first elimination of the season as they did more performances. Interesting subplot to this episode is that Cheryl Burke tested positive for a breakthrough case of COVID before the day of the live show. As a result, Cody and Cheryl did not dance live, and they were judged on their rehearsal footage. So we'll see how long Cheryl's out for. That's not good. Hopefully she gets well soon. So Matt and Lindsay went first, and they did a samba dance to Levitating by Dua Lipa. And they got a 22. Olivia and Val went next, and they did a finesse waltz to Better Days by Ant Clemens and Justin Timberlake and got a 27. Kenya and Brandon did a cha-cha-cha to Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. They got a 24. The Miz and Whitney did a tango dance to Nuttin' But a Good Time by Poison and got a 26. Brian and Sharna did a rumba dance to Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur, got a 23. Christine and Pasha did a salsa dance to Despacito by Daddy Yankee and Luis Fonsi and got a 24. Jimmy Allen and Emma did a Wnba dance to Make Me Want to by Jimmy Allen, and they got a 27. Amanda and Alan did a foxtrot to It Had to Be You by Ray Chu and got a 32. JoJo and Jenna did a cha-cha-cha to Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande and got a 31. Amon and Daniela did a Wnba dance to You Know What's Up by Danelle Jones. Martine and Britt did a cha-cha-cha dance to Twist and Shout by the Isley Brothers and got a 15. Melora and Artem did a Wnba dance to All By Myself by Celine Dion and got a 27. Cody and Cheryl's rehearsal performance was a salsa dance to Don't Go Yet by Camila Cabello and they got a 24. Melanie and Gleb did a foxtrot to Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles and got a 30. And Suni and Sasha did a cha-cha-cha dance to I Like It by Cardi B, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin and got a 28. The bottom two were Christine and Pasha and Martine and Britt. And 3 of the 4 judges saved Christine and Pasha, and the one judge that did not vote and would have saved Christine and Pasha was Goodman. So ultimately, the 2 that went home was Martine and Britt. They just were not a good pairing. So Martine and Britt got the lowest score the first 2 weeks, and then and the lowest score combined with a 28. So they were the first pairing eliminated. So we'll see how next week goes, and we'll see how everybody does. All right, so last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. I have to go baseball because there's nothing else. I mean, WNBA playoffs would have been fun too. But I'm just going to go with baseball. A lot of big games. I like a couple overs, but I'm debating on which one to pounce on. The Miami Mets won 5.5. Just seems so low, but it's a double header. Let's go over 7.5 between the D-backs and the Giants. Do I feel good about it? No. So I'm just going to lay 1 unit on over 7.5 between the D-backs and the Giants. All right, so there you have it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from baseball, the WNBA playoffs. We'll do baseball trade value tomorrow on the show. And obviously, Major League Soccer we'll get into. And then news and notes and best bet. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.